Hey YouTube, we are learning to play Pokemon again today, and today we're going to learn how to get your game started. Alright, first thing you're going to want to do is take your 60 card deck, and we'll talk about deck construction in another video, but for now, you're going to take your 60 card deck, you're going to shuffle it up, and normally you'd present it to your opponent to cut. We're going to talk about cutting and shuffling in another video as well. So for now, we're just going to assume that you've already done that. What you're going to do is you're going to get your first hand, which is going to be 7 cards. Normally you'd want to keep those cards to yourself, but in this case, because we're all learning together, we're just going to reveal them. So let's see, that's 5, 6, and 7. Now in our 7 card hand, what we're looking for is at least one basic Pokemon. So we look at the cards and they'll tell us, well, these are all Pokemon because we already learned that in our other video. So let's see. Well, Simisage is a stage 1. He evolves from someone, which means he's not basic. So we can't start with him. But we do have 2 Pokemon who do say that they're basic. We have Pikachu and Helioptile. We can pick either one we want to be our starting Pokemon. Our starting Pokemon will be right here in our active slot, the active Pokemon. In this case, we're going to go ahead and pick Pikachu. You can pick whichever one you want, but just for sake of argument, we're going to go with Pikachu. Now, remember, your opponent doesn't see these cards right now. It's your hand, and your hand is kind of a secret from your opponent. And when we start the game, we don't want to show our opponent what we're starting with, or it might help them figure out something to play to kind of counter us. So, when you put out your starting Pokemon at very first, you're going to put it out face down, so that they can't see what it is. Now, you're good to go right now, but you also have the option, if you want, you can bench up to 5 more basic Pokemon right away. You have the option to put Helioptile on your bench, but you don't have to. Now our bench is this area right here behind our active Pokemon. We're going to go ahead and bench Helioptile. Once again, because this is the very beginning of the game, we're going to do it face down so our opponents don't know what it is. Now before we go any further, we've already got a basic Pokemon. If we didn't have a basic Pokemon, we'd have to mulligan. But we're going to talk about mulligans again later. So for now, we've got a basic Pokemon, so what we need to do is we need to lay out our prizes. And in most games, you're going to lay out 6 prizes. There's 4, 5, and 6. Now your prizes are face down, and you can't look at these. These are cards you're going to take as, well, like the name suggests, prizes for when you knock out your opponent's Pokemon. And one of the ways to win is by collecting all your prizes. Since that's 6 prizes, that means you'll need to take 6 knockouts in order to win the game. Now once we've got all this done, we're ready to start. Now before you look at your opening hand, you're going to want to roll a die or flip a coin to figure out who's going first. And that's before you do all this. So once you know who's going first, everyone will first flip over all their Pokemon. And they're going to stay face up for the rest of the game. So if you're the first turn player of the very first game, you decide you're going to go first, what you'll do is, before you do anything else, you're going to draw your card. Now, we're going to be able to play this hand during our turn. We're not going to worry about what you do during your turn. We'll do that in another video. But, the only other thing we really need to know is, if we have the very first turn of the game, we can't attack. So even if, let's say, we have enough energy on our Pikachu in order to be able to attack, we're not going to be able to declare an attack. Now that's different if our opponent takes the very first turn of the game. If they take the very first turn of the game, when it's our turn, even though it'll be our first turn, it won't be the first turn of the game, so we will be able to attack if our active Pokemon has enough energy to use its attack. And so that's kind of important because those rules used to be a little different a while ago. Now, there's a lot more to the game than that, but we're going to stop right there because you've just learned how to start playing a game. So until next time, like, comment, subscribe, and check out my channel for more videos on how to learn to play Pokemon.